On tonight's episode, we talk about 7500
The Vest of Night.
and a whole bunch of pop culture news, rumors, and trailers. Where do you want to start? We got a lot today.
Well, this week we watched movies, and we watched two brand new Amazon movies. Let's start with one of those.
Okay, how about 7500?
7500.
Yeah, I liked it.
It was logistically, it was a really small production. It was apparently easy to shoot because it was a man in a cockpit pretty much the whole time.
Which is one of the things that I liked about the movie. I like it when, like short stories and short films I like for the same reason. Like you just cut out, you get these extreme limitations on it, and I think that brings out some good storytelling.
And a lot happens out of the cockpit.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a dramatic
the passenger
movie.
cabin, the stuff that happens there. Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah.
And there's outside the radio to the tower, and then finally the airport when the emergency services come to the rescue. So there's a lot going on. But the movie is focused solely on what's going on in the cockpit, namely the captain, interpreted by, what's his name?
A guy.
Not the actor, what's his name? I can't remember.
So there's the captain, but then the Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Gordon-Levitt.
He's not the captain,
right.
he's the first officer.
Yeah,
and it seems like he's pretty new. There's some lines at the beginning that suggest like he's still a pretty new pilot. Like it's not his first flight or anything, but he's fairly recently made it to where he's at.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's focused solely on him. And so what happens is, short story is he's the co-pilot, or what do you call it?
First officer.
First officer.
Yeah, co-pilot.
And he on this plane they're going going from Germany to
Berlin to Paris.
Paris.
Yeah,
exactly, to Paris.
His wife is one of the flight attendants.
Fiance.
Yeah.
One thing that is different is very different in the whole movie in the cockpit is in the beginning of the movie it uses airport footage of certain people.
Yes, that's right.
That look like terrorists, and they are terrorists.
Yeah.
So they take over the plane using what bottles is that?
It was glass. They made like shivs basically out of pieces of glass wrapped in duct tape, so it wouldn't show up.
Where? Why they did that?
I think they carried it on with them. That was why they used glass. It didn't show up in any of the security scans when they came in.
How it doesn't show? It shows.
Well, it's not like metal. You wouldn't show up on an X-ray or anything.
Oh, it shows. It shows everything. It's basically, there's even, especially that one that you put your arms up, that one sees you naked. It shows everything.
But it doesn't show like in detail. Like, do you think it would see
that's the
glass,
job,
like if you stuck it in a book or something?
That's the job of it shows. That's the job of the TSA.
Okay.
If anything suspicious, or if he considers suspicious, and some are more cautious than others, they will stop you and like, okay, let's see. I remember that one time flying, I was carrying pieces of memory boards, and it was inside of a book, not because I was trying to hide, but to protect. And they saw it. I was like,
Yeah. One of the security cameras. So, like you said at the beginning, it starts out with the security camera footage. We see them go into a bathroom. They could conceivably go through security.
Mirrors.
And we see him go into a duty-free shop and buy stuff. So he could have carried in duct tape, bought
that's true.
bottles of wine and done something in the bathroom maybe.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right, there you go, terrorists. We figured it out for you.
Yeah, so they get armed with a very, very primitive but dangerous weapons, knives made out of glass, pieces of shards of glass. And they take over the plane. Fun fact, not fun fact, but a fact that on 9/11, some of the terrorists took over the plane using knives because guns, it's impossible. So sharp objects. So they take over this plane, and to the point that one makes to the pilot's cabin, right?
One makes it into the cockpit and kills the captain, but Joseph Gordon-Levitt is able to overpower him and knock him out, kind of tie him up, and secure the cockpit. But that left two other hijackers armed in the main cabin.
Yeah. Another detail about the beginning I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, the co-pilot, is married to...
Engaged.
They're not that's right, but they have a kid, but they're not married. They're engaged to one of the flight attendant.
Yep.
And they keep it very professional. Nobody knows. Even the captain was like, "Oh, you should date her." It's like, "Yeah, I have a kid with her."
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
So they keep very, very low profile, almost secret. And so, yeah, there's this thing. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, this whole thing is happening in the plane, and he's in the cabin. She's back with the passengers.
Mm-hmm. And this is where, so now we finally get to like the main story and the drama of the movie. And here are two things that I super loved about it. First, there's no score. So the movie really just has to speak for itself. Second, oh no wait, I can think of three things. Okay, no score.
Yeah, second comes after.
Yeah, it does. Okay, first no score. Second, it was all happening in real time, wasn't it?
Pretty much. I don't think there was any cut, like, at least no elliptical cut. You know.
There's a moment where he's unconscious.
Yeah.
Where they might have passed a little extra time, but for the most part, like.
But it can't be much because the plane is, by itself when he's unconscious.
So for the most part, like, it's happening in real time. There's not like a lot of edits or anything. And then third, we only know what he knows. We don't really have any idea what's going on in the back until we only get clues, the same clues that he does, when the hijackers kind of ring on the cockpit has like a doorbell, and they ring the bell, and then there's a camera and they can see what's happening. But even that is just a tiny little bit. We have no idea what's going on in the cabin. And so all of that combines to make this really intense, suspenseful, captivating story, I thought.
Yeah, no, it is. It's
cool.
It's very, very close to the character.
It's clever.
And so yeah, terrorists take over the plane, and then one of the main terrorists takes over the pilot's cockpit. Something happens. I can't remember, but how the one gets to the cockpit and yeah.
Okay, so. As the drama unfolds, the hijackers are trying to get into the cockpit. They want to crash the plane. They're terrorists. They're suicidal. They're there to avenge violence in the Middle East. So one of there are three hijackers. One did get into the cockpit. Joseph Gordon-Levitt overpowered him. He was unconscious and restrained in the corner. The other two were outside using hostages and killing hostages to try to get into the cockpit. Meanwhile, the guy inside the cockpit regains consciousness and is able to get out of his restraints because Joseph Gordon-Levitt has his headset in. He's trying to block out everything that's happening and just trying to get the plane landed safely. So this guy wakes up, gets out of his restraints, overpowers Joseph Gordon-Levitt, lets in one of the other hijackers. Of the two who were outside, one of them was killed by the passengers. They were able to overpower one of them. But the youngest one gets inside the cockpit. So now there's two hijackers in the cockpit, and they've got it written down how to force the plane into a nosedive and crash it. And that's when the youngest one freaks out and is like, you know what, actually, I don't want to die. He kills the other hijacker, so now he's freaked out and scared and everything, and holding Joseph Gordon-Levitt and basically the whole plane hostage. So now Joseph Gordon-Levitt has to calm this kid down, like negotiate his way out of this bad situation. Just watch the movie.
Yeah, it's so when this second hijacker gets to the cockpit, the movie changes. It's like this emotional fight, this conflict between Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character and this kid. Before all that, just a quick reminder that the Joseph Gordon-Levitt's wife that was on the plane with the passengers dies. So, and then we have the only person that can fly a plane, this kid that doesn't want the plane to crash, and they are like on this thing that he's like, okay, take this plane somewhere else, let's not crash it. I don't want it. I don't want to die. And it's a mix of the pilot, let me call him pilot to make it easy. The pilot wanted to survive and want to take over the terrorists. The terrorists wanted to use the pilot to get there and, I don't know, maybe get the people out before he kills himself. And yeah, I don't know. There's some moments that they build this Stockholm syndrome kind of sympathy for the terrorists.
Yeah.
I don't know. He calls his mom. It didn't work on me. I like how it was really personal. And
I think that was really the point. Like, we didn't have to... I feel like you could feel bad for him, but still say, like, clearly you're a bad guy. Like, you're participating in killing people, and, like, you were dangerous and everything else. But you could still see, like, the humanity of it.
Yeah. To the point that at the end, when everything is solved, and the plane lands somewhere, and the passengers get out, and then they're trying to negotiate with the emergency first responders outside. The kid got shot by the sniper, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt opened the door and get out of the plane, but he calls for a doctor for the kid.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah. But it was very interesting, very very well done, very very small because it's like it's all there. Yeah. It's almost close-ups all the time, and yeah, you should check it. It's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So, The Vast of Night.
The Vast of Night, another Amazon movie. Another small movie. Very close to the characters, a very character movie.
Yeah.
And a movie centers the story is about these two kids. One is a DJ and the other one works telephone.
Yeah, the switchboards. This is set in like the 50s.
Yeah, and everybody is out in this game. It's a small town, so everybody went to the game, and they are in between the phones and the radio. They found this weird sound, this weird signal.
And when they reach out to radio listeners and call around to figure out what this sound could be, they get a mysterious call from, what's his name, Billy?
Billy.
Yeah. From Billy, who starts talking about some weird top secret army stuff. And where he may have heard the sound before. And then there's the creepy old lady who heard the sound before. Only now she adds to the fact that her son had this like weird relationship with the sound and could talk to people in the sky. And I'm not doing the plot justice. Basically, we start with high school kids and build up to aliens.
Yeah. So those kids get together and they finally go follow the signal, and they get to the signal, and they see they have a third contact. No, a first
close encounter.
Close encounter.
Yes.
Of the third kind.
Yeah.
And poof.
Yeah, that's about it. This is an alien movie without aliens, sort of. Like, we see the ships.
Yeah.
But we never see the actual aliens.
And the kids get vaporized.
Yeah, at least that's what it looks like. But a lot here is left up to the imagination.
Yeah. The whole thing is it's a version ripoff homage to Twilight Zone.
I would say homage.
You're watching on this episode of, I can't remember the name. It's like Stories of the Paradox or something like that, which is basically a version of Twilight Zone.
Yeah. Actually, that was something interesting about the way the film was shot. Sometimes it was like watching a movie, but then other times it was though it switched, so it was as though we were watching TV in the 1950s, and every now and then the screen would go black and we were just listening as though we were listening to the radio. So they kind of changed up our viewer experience.
Yeah.
So, interesting movie. I enjoyed it. The characters were really compelling. And even though it's interesting, like a sci-fi alien movie that's entirely driven by dialogue.
Yeah.
Was interesting.
Yeah.
It was fun.
No, very small, very focused on the characters. Mm-hmm. But it was fun, interesting, very creative. Mm-hmm. And it has the 50s vibe with the radio, with the phone, and we don't some people that we hear on the phone, we don't see it at all. And
and everybody has glasses on for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was on purpose.
Small town USA, everybody went to this game, and the city is kind of deserted and just dark and mysterious and scary. And these two kids go on this adventure, which is not very adventurous, but it's definitely a little bit scary, looking for signals, and they find death.
Yeah. Ugh, it was good. I enjoyed it. I love a good mystery box. This one barely counts as a mystery box, but it was good.
Yeah,
so,
it counts if the box was vaporized.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the tape. They have the tape, right? So someone might find the tape and make a movie about it, like Blair Witch Project. A piece of garbage. Yeah. Well.
Okay.
So those are the movies we saw this week. What else happens this week?
Okay, we got some juicy new details and rumors about Flashpoint.
Yes, DC, Warner, AT&T behind them is like moving the wheels quicker and better. We heard some announcements this week that among those that I can't remember her name, the actress from sure was originally on the Justice League as Iris Allen. She was called back, so she's gonna be on most likely on the Justice League Snyder cut, and most likely on the Flash movie. More specific about the Flash, Jeffrey Dean Morgan was called to maybe reprise, and everybody thinks is that his role was Thomas Wayne, as he was Thomas Wayne on Batman vs Superman. So, and we know the start of Flashpoint. On this, when Flash goes back and changes the timeline, a lot of things, if not everything, changes, including the fact that Thomas and Martha didn't die, but Bruce died. Martha went bananas, went crazy, becomes some sort of Joker, and Thomas becomes a Batman, but
but like an angrier, more
tough,
violent,
Punisher
deathly
style Batman.
Yeah, Punisher style. That's good.
Yeah, and who else? Another Batman news, but related to Flashpoint, Michael Keaton, there was Batman on the movies on the 1989 Tim Burton movie, was signed or is on the process of signing and coming back for being Batman again. And there's a lot of speculation that he will be Batman or Bruce on a Batman Beyond movie, or this will be just the beginning. He will be the DCU. He'll be some sort of Nick Fury. He's gonna gather everybody together, and he's gonna tie them. I mean, what Nick Fury was in the beginning,
Right. I hope this all plays out. No matter how Michael Keaton's Batman is incorporated into this, I'm not mad about it.
No, me
I'm
too.
quite pleased.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Whether it's Flashpoint or a Multiverse or Batman Beyond, these are all good possibilities.
And could be all. It sounds like he's going to be from the long run, and he's going to do a lot. So he'll be part of Flashpoint that deals with multiple timelines and multiple Earths, so the multiverse. And
Okay. We got some trailers this week.
We saw sticking with DC. We saw the trailer for The Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah. Which looks like a new origin story for Superman.
Yeah, the BBC is pretty excited about it. But yes, so it is a retelling of the origin of Superman and how he became Superman.
Yeah. I definitely got some Smallville vibes. Like, he doesn't go straight from, like, Kansas to Fortress of Solitude to Blue Suit, Red Cape, and Metropolis. Like,
yeah, there's some...
He's doing some hero work. Martian Manhunter's there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as Smallville. Spending 9 years crying for the girl.
No, I guess the only similarity is, like, his journey to a hero is, like, a little bit more convoluted than what we see in the like the Richard Donner movie.
Sure. But yeah, so yeah, it looks good. It looks very good, and yeah, we hope to see that soon so we can talk about it.
Some new games.
Another trailer we saw was the trailer for Avengers. The new trailer for the Avengers game, because the first trailer sucked. It looked so bad. Everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, this thing." Yeah.
This one I didn't think was that bad.
Huh?
It looked interesting.
Did you see the first one?
I didn't.
Oh, you're talking about this one.
Yeah, I'm saying this trailer
it definitely got better. You can see characters. You can see a little bit of the story, and it seems like the villain's gonna be AIM, led by MODOK. So that's kind of like they talk about some what happened to the Avengers, blah 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 blah. So who knows what timeline they're gonna use? I think they should definitely connect to the Spider-Man game. That was a huge success. Cool. It was really good, but who knows? Maybe not.
We'll find out. But the game looks fun. How about Arkham? Anything about a new Arkham game?
Oh yes, there's some rumors on the cyberspace that Rocksteady Games, the company that's behind the Batman Arkham games, might be working on new games, including one for the Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay.
So
do they have any games?
No.
Oh.
Harley shows up in the Batman games. That's it. Yeah, I don't think anyone else from that group shows up.
Okay.
Yeah, so
cool.
Who knows? With the fandom coming, we're gonna have a lot of news about DC movies, DC shows, DC games. So we might have some clarification on that. Still about DC, Harry Cavill was on an interview with Patrick Stewart and Patrick Stewart asked him about being Superman, about being on the Zack Snyder cut, and he said, I want to be Superman as long as I can, as long as they allow me, and for years and years. So
I think I want that too.
Yeah, he's game. He's up to, so we'll see.
Cool. Well, I think that about...
That's it. I think so. Yeah. Another rumor, there might be a Twister remake.
Really?
Yeah. So we might see tornadoes coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not Sharknadoes, just plain old tornadoes.
Not as good as Sharknado, but yeah. Okay.
As good. Ugh.
Okay. I guess that's it for this week.
Okay.
And yeah, may the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.